How is it that some people handle conflict by being direct, while others prefer to keep harmony and avoid confrontation? Why do misunderstandings about respect or saving face often cross cultural lines? According to communication scholar Stella Ting-Toomey, it is all about how we negotiate face or our public self image during a conflict. Welcome back to Communication Campus. I'm your host, Dr. Malynnda Stewart. In today's episode, we are going to explore face negotiation theory, developed by Stella Ting-Toomey. This theory explains how people from different cultures manage conflict and maintain dignity for themselves as well as for others. Now, in communication, face refers to our public self-image, the version of ourselves that we want others to see and ideally respect. We all have face wants or needs. We have positive face, the desire to be liked and appreciated and included. But there's also negative face, and this is the desire for autonomy and freedom from imposition. Think about the people that like to fit in the box, like to fit in the crowd, versus those who see that crowd, see that definition, and say, absolutely no way. That's not who I am. When conflict threatens these needs, when our competence, our respect, our independence feels challenged, we try to negotiate face through our communication choices. So Ting-Toomey argues that culture heavily influences how we manage face and conflict. She describes that individualistic cultures, such as the United States, Germany, and Australia, see people themselves as independent. And in these cultures, they tend to focus on self-face maintenance, protecting their own image, even if it risks conflicts. Directiveness is valued. I'm just being honest, they're likely to say. Now, in collectivistic cultures, such as Japan, China, and many Latin American societies, people see themselves as connected to the group. They're going to emphasize other face, a mutual face maintenance, preserving harmony and the dignity of all parties involved. Indirectness or politeness is often preferred to avoid embarrassment. In other words, it's not about the individual, it's about the entire group. And as an individual, I don't want to do anything to draw attention to me or cause friction for the entire group. These cultural differences explain why what feels respectful in one culture, such as being upfront, might feel incredibly rude in another. So let's think about some conflict management styles. Ting-Toomey identified several conflict management styles, each linked to face concerns and cultural orientation. So, for example, we have dominating, which focuses on high self-face. And an example of the behavior is going to be arguing forcefully to win. Rather, others might use avoiding. This is going to be low self and other face. We're going to withdraw. We're going to deflect from the conflict, and so on and so forth. In collectivistic cultures, avoiding or obliging can actually be seen as the most mature and respectful, while in individualistic ones, integrating and dominating may be seen as praised and assertive. But the context is always what matters. Even within a single culture, power dynamics, relationships, and situations change our approach. Now, face work is often talked about within this theory as well, and this refers to the specific messages or behaviors we use to manage our face concerns. This can include preventative face work, avoiding embarrassment before it even begins, such as softening criticism. And we can also have restorative face work, where we're repairing face after it's been threatened, such as apologizing or explaining. Now, remember, power shapes how people negotiate face. When one person or group holds the majority, the others have to do a lot more face work to maintain that harmony. Now, face negotiation theory has been used to study workplace conflict, intercultural training, diplomacy, even online communication, as it helps us to become more mindful as communicators, recognizing that our way of managing conflict isn't universal. By understanding face, we can actually navigate differences with more empathy. We can reduce misunderstandings and communicate across cultures with a lot more respect. All right, to sum this up, face is our social identity, the image we present to others, and cultural values shape how we manage this face in conflict. Effective communication means that balancing honesty with harmony and independence with connection. Thanks again for joining me in this week's episode of Communication Campus. I'm your host, Dr. Malynnda Stewart. And in our next episode, we're going to start really looking into more of this co-cultural communication. Until then, remember, every interaction is a negotiation of face. And respect is the bridge that makes us connected to all. As always, keep communicating.